Welcome back, you beauties. We have been discussing all things Pride Month this morning, and we're going to continue that right now. For those who don't know, gaming has some incredible queer representation, and our gaming expert, Grant Hines, joins us to share a few of those incredible titles, and he's done his hair for Pride. Now, when are you going to get a multicolored rainbow hair, dude?
It's very hard to maintain rainbow hair. Because if it's one color, you can get like a shampoo that colors it.
And that's already hard enough as it is.
Yeah, it's really hard to maintain as it is. But if you have like 20 colors in your hair, it's hard to maintain. But yeah, I have been asked that before. So
we'll get it done. We'll get it across the line. You've got some great titles for us to get into this morning. Jump away.
Look, it's Pride Month, and the gaming community is really excited. And there are a whole bunch of games that have been either designed by queer folk or have been included in the narratives queer stories, which are really incredible games that you've got to play. And I'm so glad that we have this platform to share them. Because, you know, a lot of people, you know, in a lot of other times of the year would not even give this a second look. So let's celebrate with everybody. So the first game is a game called Unsighted. Now, this is a really incredible game. It's designed by, it's like a hack and slash adventure game, but it's designed by two trans developers, Tiana Pixel and Fidana Diaz, and it's LGBTIQA plus inspired. So there's all these like little stories and stuff, but it looks like, as you can see, like a proper hack and slash adventure, like arcade, like classic arcade.
It does have that feel. The style is hot, man. That's really cool.
So like I'm actually really excited to play it. I haven't played it. There's like robots and post-apocalyptic like enemies and stuff. It just looks really cool stylistically.
Love that.
The second game is a game called No Longer Home. It's a little bit slower, not as much action.
How's to let?
But it's really cool. So it's a point-and-click adventure kind of isometric game where you follow the story of two non-binary people, Io and Bo, and it's based on the lives of both of the game developers themselves, Sal Davison and Hannah Lee, and they go back from London to Japan. So it's got this really cool, beautiful aesthetic and art style. If you are super creative and you want to see some really amazing interactive art, this is a great game to experience and to play.
It looks like it. And then you got Tinytinas Wonderland. I mean, that caught my attention, just the title on its own.
This is really cool. This is a game that a lot of people may already know, and we've done it on the show before. One of the co-writers is also queer, so they identify as bisexual, so they have a lot of different characters inside the game that, when you're playing the game, are non-binary, they are LGBTQIA+, and they are queer, and all these like really cool stories in and around this really crazy world. It's like a first-person shooter, but the whole theme is that it's got Dungeons and Dragons like aesthetic. So like if you like magic and Dungeons and Dragons and all that kind of stuff, you're going to see a lot of representation.
And Tiny Tina, she rocks, man.
Yeah, she's very cool.
She is hardcore.
She's a very cool character.
Very little tiny about Tina, man, but she's awesome. I love that. Dead by Daylight.
So Dead by Daylight, and you can chat to Nick about this. He's coming on the show a little bit later. He's a huge fan of this game. They have included a character called David King, who is their oldest gay character in the game. So they've just announced him, but he's been queer for the longest period of time in the lore, but we're only discovering that now. And it's a cooperative horror game where you have to, you know those movies where like Scream, you've got to run away from the killer? Well, one player is the killer and the rest of the players have to escape. So it's a very cool game. It's lots of action and a lot of coordination with your team and a lot of like getting upset with your friends for like not telling you where the enemy is coming from. And having characters that are represented, even some of the killers in the game are queer as well. But we've known that before. But it's big news this week that David King has, he's come out in the story as queer, which is
wow. And these are all top titles as well, which shows us how far we've come in the efforts of representation. And it's not kind of spoon-feeding it or forcing it down your throat. It's within an established realm that I love.
We live in a world that is incredibly diverse.
Yeah.
There are people from every different background.
That's
and
it.
we get these stories in movies and games and media that usually only take one perspective. How many times have you seen the same story every single
one
time?
lens. We get one
because
lens.
there are millions of different kinds of stories. And what Pride Month is about for me, especially in gaming, is letting people know there are people outside of your social circle, other world lived experiences that you don't know, where those stories are getting told. And that is the most important part. And you get to experience that interactively with video games.
That's it. You can interact with that world. Listen, interact with us as well on our WhatsApp line 063-408-8863. Tell us how you're showing love to the LGBTQIA+ community, but also if there are any games maybe that you have seen that are sort of LGBTI
that get it right.
inspired.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. We want to hear all about that. Grant Hines is our tech guru, and he's going nowhere. A bit with him later on.